he have in him? On first down, Paul Hall. Plenty of time and has an open receiver. That is caught. Down to the 49-yard line. Brought in by, number 82. Caught that one, Josh Boyce. Let's see the feet. We can't tell from that angle. Say's got it in bounds. It's up to the Boise State defense now. They played so tough in the first half, giving up 14 here in the second. Paul Hall gives it to Wesley. Look at Ed Wesley breaking through into Bronco territory. And for TCU, you only got to get into field goal range, and then you can just kill that clock until you can kick a field goal. Casey Paul Hall running for the first down. Inside the 40-yard line, Horned Frogs, the cheerleaders, the few fans that made the long trip from Texas up to Idaho, they are on their feet. Here's the handoff to Wesley again, and he's immediately tackled, hit hard. The clock is slowly winding down. 38-yard line. Paul Hall, is he going to throw it? Yes, he is. Out of shotgun. Paul Hall is pressured, and he has an open receiver. That was Boyce. Josh Boyce got it again. Iloka hitting as hard as he could, trying to cause the fumble. There's 1 minute, and Boise State might want to start thinking about taking their timeouts now. I think you're in field goal range, and well, actually TCU decides to take a timeout, so with a minute to go, TCU burns one of their timeouts. It is 3rd down and 2, actually, and oh, we're going to the end zone. That's a touchdown. How about that gutsy play call on a 3rd and 2 to go to the end zone? Casey Paul Hall connects with his wide receiver Greg McCoy. Unbelievable. TCU. Or excuse me, Logan Hodges. I keep seeing a number 7. He may be misnamed. But, I got Greg McCoy listed here. Logan Hodges. Well, whoever it is, just put a dagger in the hearts of the Boise State Broncos. But there is less than a minute to go. Can Kellen Moore do it again? Write the legacy. You have 52 seconds and 80 yards to go. Chris Peterson talking it over with his defense, wondering what happened on that last possession. Here comes Kellen Moore, Heisman Trophy candidate. What does he have in him? Does he have one more miracle finish in him? It looks like he does. Down to the 40, to the 30, inside the 20-yard line. I think that was Shoemaker. We got 43 seconds to go. Kellen Moore, they hand the ball off to Doug Martin, and he gets brought down. Not a bad play choice. You still have 1 timeout and 39 seconds to go. How good is Kellen Moore in these clutch situations? Geraldo Boldefine, give him the first down. Yes, indeed. First down and goal for Boise State. Here comes Moore, and he spikes the ball. 33 seconds to go. Oh, how good is Kellen Moore in the clutch? It's like you can't even get nervous if you're a Boise State fan and you're trailing in the 4th quarter. He's proved it so many times. Here comes Moore. End zone. Out of bounds. Incomplete. Wide receiver couldn't get his feet down. It is 3rd down and goal for the Broncos. They are this close. Kellen Moore trying to overcome 3 interceptions. Moore. Take it, Moore. You got an opening. Moore. Oh, my. Oh, that's a fumble. Who got it? Boise got it. 4th and goal. They're trying to run a quick play. No huddle. Catch TCU off guard. That is caught. No, he's brought down. TCU defense holds. Oh, unbelievably, we all thought that Boise State We all thought that Boise State was going to do it. TCU holds them. Boise burns their last time out, and TCU's got nothing more to do than to just sit on it, but they're taking snaps out of the shotgun. And that is going to do it. What a game. The Horned Frogs. You can call it an upset, sure. They've taken down Boise State. Only the third time in the history of the blue turf has Boise State lost on this field. 28-21. There's your play of the game. Wow. And once again, for the third week in a row on your BCS playoff preview game, 6 points separates the two teams. There you see the few TCU fans that made the long trek, quite a few of them here, and celebrating on the horse. Look at this, a little bit of disrespect from the Horned Frogs, celebrating on Buster Bronco at midfield. Kellen Moore distraught, and Casey Paul Hall. You see the numbers. We're going to show you some more numbers in just a bit, but yes, TCU. Maybe this will be their year. They're ranked number 26 right now in the rankings. They have yet to make it past the second round in a BCS playoffs preview game. Let's take a look at some highlights. Here was the final play of the game, the one that sealed it, but let's take a look at Casey Paul Hall. Kellen Moore-esque in this game with these last-second drives. There you see Moore to Efaw. We thought that was the one that perhaps maybe would send this thing into overtime. And then Casey Paul Hall one more time. This was the game winner. Touchdown. That was it. Head over to the BCS Playoffs Facebook page and vote on the game you want to see next week in your Game of the Week. Take a look at next week's schedule. Before we go, let's give you guys some stats. What a game this was. Kellen Moore, 15 of 27, almost what he has every day. The 291 yards, 3 touchdowns. That one, that'll poke out at you. 3 interceptions for Moore. Casey Paul Hall, though, 200 yards passing, 3 TDs, just the 1 interception. Taking a look at the rushing game, Ed Wesley, 21 attempts for 94 yards and a touchdown. Not bad at all. On the receiving end for the Horned Frogs, there you see Josh Boyce, 23 yards and 4 receptions. Here's the big man right here. 2 catches. That was Hicks. 2 catches, 71 yards, and a touchdown. On the Boise State side of things, let's go back to rushing really quick. For rushing, Doug Martin, 16 attempts for 78 yards. For receiving, you had Shoemaker, who probably would have been your player of the game had the Broncos won the game. 6 receptions, 179 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But I think this right here, the fact that Geraldo Boldevine couldn't do more, that might have hurt the Broncos a little bit. Other than that, you had Dan Paul, Chris Potter, and Efaw all come in with a couple of grabs. Taking a look at the defense for Boise State. Here's probably what hurt the Broncos a lot. Look at the sacks. I'm going to go right down the list. They didn't get to Casey Paul Hall once in the game. The leader was Crawford. Tyrone Crawford was 6 tackles. Of course, you had George Iloka, 4 tackles, 2 on his own. He had the 1 interception. And then taking a look at TCU, you had Tanner Brock, 7 tackles, 2 for a loss and a sack. You had Johnny Fobbs with the 1 interception. And then, of course, you had Greg McCoy and Cuba with the other 2 interceptions here in the game. Well, that's going to do it here, fans. Let's give you one last look at everyone's stats altogether. There you see it. Boise State, more first downs, more yards. But the thing that's going to decide a winner every time is right there, the turnovers. Kellen Moore had moments of brilliance, but he struggled a little bit today. And in the end, TCU has done what only 3 other teams have been able to do. Casey Paul Hall has done what only 2 other quarterbacks have been able to do. One of those quarterbacks is playing in the NFL, and that's beat the Boise State Broncos on the blue turf at Broncos Stadium. Fans, go ahead, head to Facebook page, and vote what do you want to see next week in your game of the week as we lead up to the Bowl Championship Series playoffs. We are just weeks away from our very first playoff game, which will be the Beef O'Brady's Bowl on Thursday. Fans, we'll see you next week here for the BCS Playoffs preview game.